Appearing on the late-night political show, Ms Abbott endured a brutal grilling by Mrs Maitlis, who asked the Labour MP to clarify Labour's confusing position on Brexit and immigration following her speech at the party's annual conference in Liverpool. On Tuesday, Ms Abbott addressed attendees vowing to end Theresa May's hostile immigration policies, but then she refused to answer the BBC host's question on whether she is prepared to tell people who voted Brexit they were wrong to blame immigrants. Mrs Maitlis added, "Do you worry by saying it is not about immigration? You somehow confirm Labour as the middle-class, London-centric, uber-liberal, youth-obsessed party that is handing P45s to your MPs in the north." In response, the clearly irritated Shadow Home Secretary accused Mrs Maitlis of reading from a Tory script. She scolded, "I am telling you migration is a complex issue, and we need to start with the facts. I am telling you the reason some parts of the country voted to leave is a complicated question. If all you are doing is throwing Tory talking points to me, it is difficult for me to respond." But in a merciless rebuttal, the BBC presenter fired, "That's from a Labour member who was in the hall, who said Labour should be worried. That's exactly what they are doing." Diane Abbott accused BBC Newsnight presenter Emily Maitlis of sounding like a Tory script. Image, BBC. Ms Abbott endured a brutal grilling by Mrs Maitlis. Image, BBC. The frontbencher smiled before claiming her party is still committed to respect the referendum and that would be difficult if they weren't. Ms Abbott's blunder on BBC Newsnight is not the only one she was involved in yesterday, as during her keynote speech at the Labour Party conference she fell short one number while discussing the increasing rate of 999 calls in the UK. Addressing attendees at her speech, Ms Abbott expressed her concerns about the rising number of calls to the urgent response contact but cut down the 999 emergency number to 2 figures. She said, "Response time to 99 calls are increasing, violent crime is increasing." In a merciless rebuttal, the BBC presenter fired that the comments was from a Labour member. Image, BBC. After the slip-up, the Shadow Secretary continued her speech about security, claiming Labour should be trusted more than the Conservative Party because of years of Tory austerity. Ms Abbott said years of policy cuts means Labour as the party of real security. The MP said, "The government is big on rhetoric about security, policing and borders, but talk is cheap, action costs money. And they have slashed the border guards just like they have slashed the police and fire services."